They did not plan for this episode. They did not storyboard this moment. And nobody who loves this show wanted the sentence you're about to hear to exist at all. In the final hours of Season 5, dropped on Amazon Prime just days ago, Jeremy Clarkson looked across a farm office and said 3 words that changed how every viewer will watch this show from now on. I've got cancer. Not in a press release, not in a carefully prepared statement. He said it to Caleb Cooper and Charlie Ireland in what had started as an ordinary conversation about harvest planning. Caleb asked where. Clarkson's answer was simple, almost defiant. Where it is of no concern of anybody. I've known since May. This is not a video built on speculation. It is not a drama piece. It is what Clarkson actually said, what we now know about his diagnosis and treatment, and what it means for him, the people around him, and for Clarkson's farm itself. The biopsy that confirmed the cancer described it as aggressive, but caught early. 10% of his prostate, he later told Caleb on camera, was affected. In another year, on another farm, that timing alone would have been hard. Here, it arrived in the middle of an already fragile harvest that he had hoped to complete before starting treatment. It did not happen that way. Shortly before the last 2 episodes aired, Clarkson warned fans that they would be a difficult watch. On Instagram, he called the news inside them somber and said the content was really difficult. That was not an exaggeration. The season closes with Clarkson back in a hospital bed. He tells viewers directly that some of his treatment has not gone to plan. Some of the treatment has gone awry, he says. I'm going to be here for a little while. I'm ill by mouth. I don't know what's going to happen. Then he says the line that has been shared across almost every major outlet covering this story in the past day. If this is all successful, I'll see you for Season 6. And if it isn't, I won't. He ends simply. Take care, everyone. By Clarkson's own account, the surgery itself was relatively quick. Recovery is the part that takes time. Doctors are monitoring his condition through blood tests before deciding what comes next. As of this week, there is no further public update beyond what aired in that finale. But this is not the first time prostate cancer has appeared on Clarkson's farm, and that is where the story starts to change. In Season 3, Gerald Cooper, the farmhand viewers learn to adore for his thick West Country accent and decades of knowledge of diddly squat's hedgerows, revealed his own prostate cancer diagnosis. Clarkson, hearing the news by phone while filming, turned to the crew and said simply, Gerald's got cancer. The season followed Gerald through treatment. By June 2024, the show was finally able to share the update every viewer had been hoping for. Gerald was cancer-free. 2 men, the same farm, the same disease. A television show that began almost by accident as a comedy about a celebrity failing to drive a tractor properly has become, over 5 years, one of the most visible documentations of a cancer that will affect 1 in 8 men in Britain during their lifetime. It is not just entertainment. It is an unintended record of what this illness actually looks like when it hits ordinary people you already know. Clarkson himself has spoken about this pattern separately from his own diagnosis. He has said more than once that he has had too many friends go down with prostate cancer, and has been open about the importance of getting checked. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer affecting men in Britain. In England alone, tens of thousands of men are diagnosed every single year. It typically develops slowly, often without symptoms until the disease has already progressed. That is precisely why early detection through a simple test matters as much as it does. And there is already evidence of what openness on a big show can do. A man named Andrew Hood from North Devon has spoken publicly about getting checked for testicular cancer specifically because of something he saw Clarkson present on the Grand Tour. He credits that moment, and the show more broadly, with prompting him to get checked at all. He later ran a 34-mile ultramarathon ending at Diddley Squat to say thank you. That is not a marketing story. That is a life where the sentence, "I saw it on Clarkson's show," is part of the reason a disease was caught in time. The failure is not the content. The failure is the warning. When a frightening subject becomes an honest conversation on a show watched by millions, something simple and profound happens. People who would otherwise put off a doctor's appointment go and get checked. Some of those appointments save lives. If anything good comes directly out of this difficult season, it will almost certainly be exactly that. Amazon has already confirmed that Season 6 of Clarkson's Farm is commissioned, with production expected in 2027. Clarkson's own words in the finale, "If this is all successful, I'll see you for Season 6," are the clearest signal yet that the show's future is, for the moment, tied directly to his recovery. But the farm and the show are not a single monolithic business that rises or falls in one piece. Diddly Squat, the television series, Hawkstone Brewery, and the Farmer's Dog Pub are connected, but they do not share the same foundations. Hawkstone Brewery operates as a separate legal entity on separate land with its own planning permission, its own distribution into over 2,000 pubs, and its own revenue, entirely independent of whether a single further episode of Clarkson's farm is ever filmed. The Farmer's Dog Pub similarly operates on its own footing, with its own staff and customer base. What depends heavily on Clarkson personally, and on his health, is the agricultural side. The day-to-day running of the farm, the harvest, the show itself. Caleb Cooper has spent recent years quietly building toward exactly this kind of responsibility. Company filings show his production company holding equity approaching £1 million, built independently of Clarkson. Amazon has already commissioned content built around Caleb specifically. If anyone is positioned to help carry the operational weight of Diddly Squat through a period where its founder needs time to recover, it is the people already standing beside him in that hospital conversation. There is another hard reality Clarkson himself acknowledged elsewhere in Season 5. This is a farm that depends on the television income to survive at all. He said so in a separate moment about the economics of British farming more generally. Whatever happens with his recovery, that underlying truth does not change. The land needs the show, and the show needs him well. Now, if you have been finding this as difficult and as important to follow as we have, this is the point where it stops being only a story about one man on one farm. If you are a man over 50, if you have a family history of prostate cancer, or if you have simply been putting off a routine check because life gets in the way, Gerald Cooper's story and Jeremy Clarkson's story are both, in their own way, telling you the same thing. Early detection keeps coming up. Gerald is cancer-free today because his was caught and treated. Clarkson has said his own diagnosis was caught early, despite being described as aggressive. A conversation with your GP or a simple blood test is a small thing to arrange and an easy thing to keep putting off. It is also, by every account from the people on this farm who have actually been through it, worth doing. This farm was never just a backdrop for entertaining chaos. It became a place where serious things are said out loud, in front of millions of people, instead of being hidden. We will be watching for updates on Jeremy Clarkson's recovery, the same as everyone else who has followed this farm for 5 years. In the meantime, our thoughts are with him, with Lisa, with Caleb, and with everyone at Diddly Squat. If you are watching this and it reminded you to book a check you have been quietly putting off, that is worth more to us than any view count. Take care of yourselves. Tell us in the comments what you would like us to cover next about the farm or the brewery. And if you are comfortable sharing, tell us where in the world you are watching from. Thank you, as always, for watching.